Crash Bandicoot 2020 is hopefully going to be here soon, but will PlayStation try to get the exclusivity to it once more? Let's talk about it.
No!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new video. So we know that Crash Bandicoot will be back in the near future. Whether or not you agree with me that the new Crash game will likely come in 2020, the one thing I think most people can agree with is that Crash has become a main focus to Activision, especially when it comes to sales. In February of 2019, Activision had reported 10 million units sold across all platforms for just the Insane trilogy, which is something to not snuff at. In multiple calls, Activision has said that their flagship titles have been Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro the Dragon. Now, you can't call an IP a flagship title if you don't have future plans for it. Also, there have been leakers like the Gaming Revolution and viewer Anon that seem to point that there will be a new Crash game on the way. But this is where we begin to enter the thought that I have been having. See, it's been no mystery that I have been standing on this pattern that many of us in the community have observed. I talked about it a lot because I really do think it's something that is real. Where Crash and Spyro get released year to year, with many of the Activision companies working in tandem to make sure that it all happens as smoothly as possible. But recently, Crash Bandicoot has broken the pattern in such an odd manner. Crash's pattern is announcement in December, release in June. But this year, it seems to have changed, as it is March and yet we haven't heard a single peep about it. So, what's happening? Why would a pattern that Activision has held on to change all of a sudden? Well, the first thing you need to think about when it comes to companies is why would they change something? In fact, why would any company change and adjust anything? The answer comes down to one thing, and one thing only. That is money. If you follow the money, you can always see where a company is going to try and go when it comes to releasing and making games. It's simply business. So why would Activision not follow the same pattern? Simple. They feel that releasing Crash at a different time would earn them a higher income. But that doesn't explain why they would change something that has been working for Crash. The Insane trilogy sold very well, and according to the NPD, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled had the best launch in Crash Bandicoot's history. With accolades like that, why would you change your pattern? If you pay attention to the game industry, the big console makers like PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox pay money to third-party developers to push for exclusive bits of gameplay to make sure people want to buy one version over another. Sometimes it's simply advertising, maybe an extra game mode, sometimes it's exclusive skins and characters. But in other times, it's full-on exclusivity for a certain length of time. This is when we turn our eyes menacingly to PlayStation. PlayStation already has advertising rights with Activision as a whole, as in when Activision releases a game, PlayStation must be the console of choice that is promoted, whether that's the fine print saying that the footage was captured on a Sony console, or a Sony bumper ad that promotes them, even if it's a multi-platform release. But Sony has particularly locked their eyes on the Orange Bandicoot. Right from day one, Sony has gobbled as much exclusivity that they can when it comes to Crash Bandicoot. When CTR was announced, the bumper ad at the end of the Game Awards was the PlayStation 4. When they announced the additional Crash Nitro Kart content, it was during the PlayStation State of Play. And they also had gotten exclusive retro skins and an exclusive track that is just plastered with PlayStation's logos. PlayStation wants it all when it comes to Crash Bandicoot. So December rolled by, the month that normally Crash is announced in, and there was nothing. And we are now in March, and the leaks are starting to get fierce, but we have not seen anything of the Bandicoot. Why is that? And I have an idea. Look at the gaming industry. Crash is not the only thing that's missing on details. Notice how PlayStation has been quiet about the PlayStation 5. We know stats about it and we know some of the nitty-gritty details, but other than Godfall, we have not seen a single thing when it comes to games. It's interesting that both the company that has been pushing for exclusive rights for Crash and Crash itself has been pretty light on details. So here are my thoughts. Crash Bandicoot 4, or whatever you want to call it, might get the one-year exclusive deal again, similarly to how the Insane trilogy initially worked. The reason why we have not heard details about Crash is because he will be a launch game with the next generation, And in order to be able to talk about this game, the next consoles would have to be fully announced first. More specifically, the PlayStation 5. Like I said, follow the money. The likely reason that Crash had changed so much from its initial pattern was because launch titles always sell like crazy because of the limited library of games that are available during the console's initial launch. It would be almost poetic to launch alongside the PS5, an IP that at one point was seen as the lead PlayStation mascot that would go toe-to-toe with Sonic and Mario. Not planning on trying to get the PS5 day one? I wouldn't fret too much. It is likely that there will be a dumbed down version that will likely release alongside the new PS5 version for the PlayStation 4. I doubt that they would make it completely exclusive to the PS5, but what do you guys think? Do you think Crash will get the exclusivity rights again for another year for PlayStation? Comment below and let me know.
A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.